Okay, so it's probably a little loud right now. It's because I've got my fan running because I've been painting, or priming, I should say. Um, Basically, I'm still working on the Razorcrest. I've gotten all of these pieces through here all primed. Everything on the interior is primed. I've got a couple of different scales of Mandos that I've got going. Summer presents for other people. But basically, this is where I'm at. Today, I'm working on priming the main hull. Finally, I've been kind of sick, so my voice probably sounds a little weird. Let me turn this off for a second because I'm not actually painting. I was letting that clear out some of the fumes from painting the bottom part of the hull. But anyway, I'm painting the interior and the exterior so far with just the black. And obviously this is so big that it is too big for my paint booth. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I have some other parts that are little pieces here. These are all going to go with this. Little Mando guys in different poses. Here's the interior, the cab and all that, which I think I've shown this before. So this is all primed. But basically that's where I'm at right now. I'm a little out of breath because I've been sick. So if I'm sounding like I am shitty, that's because I kind of am still. Anyway, I'm using just rattle cans for these because to airbrush this would take forever. So I'm using just some cheap stuff that I bought at Home Depot. This is the color I'm going to use for the hull over here, which it looks white on screen. It's a silver metallic. What is this? This is Max Flex. I don't know what color that. Just silver. Okay, there you go. It's silver. There were several different kinds of paints that I was looking at. I ended up going with this one. Hopefully it'll look okay once I get it all done. But I'll end up putting everything black, a light coat of white over it, and then silver over the entire thing. So that's where we're at. All right. I'll show you what I get done afterwards. All right, the fan's running because I just finished up and I still got some fumes in the space, so I want to pull out as much of that out as possible. Anyway, first coat of black is on the top. I'm still going to have to, I did a little bit more on this. This is drying up now to where I can actually touch it a little bit. I got the interior of that one done as well, plus the front. So that one's almost completely done. I have a little bit of touch-up left to do on that one. Sorry about shaking so much. But then I've got the bottom side of the top part left to do as well. So far so good. Things are looking pretty good. I'm trying to do this quickly because obviously with the Razorcrest it's got a lot of weathering on it. So I don't want to do a really crisp, clean, really good job and then have to come back and weather it. If I can weather it and kind of leave some of this showing through the primer, then hopefully it'll translate on the final thing. So hopefully I'll be able to get some of that to work out the way I'm thinking. But anyway, here we go. Slowly coming. So at this point I've got the coat of black on there, and now I'm doing the coat of white. Here shortly you're going to see I have a massive disaster come about as I work on this, and it's not very good.
At this point, I had put this black on the day before, let it sit for 24 hours, and was putting on this coat of white. Now, everything up to this point was going very nice. Everything turned out fairly neat. You can kind of see on the top the engine on the left of the screen right now. There's some black on the interior still right there where I just sprayed. As I'm doing this, I'm leaving some spots of that black showing through a little bit more ultimately. And my thought was that if I have a little more black showing, that when the silver goes on, it'd be a little bit darker. And so I'd have some dark and light spots kind of showing. That was what my intent was at this point. Needless to say, I'm trying to do very small or light coats, I should say, throughout all of this, even on the interior, trying not to do a complete cover in white, trying to leave some of that black showing so that hopefully it'll kind of show the silver as a darker color later on. So at that point, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm done with that one. Now, here's where I start with the silver. And this is where everything just falls apart on me. And this is just disaster. At this point, I've stopped painting. I have to completely strip everything. And you're about to see here in a minute what I'm talking about. So literally in the matter of seconds of putting this on, and all of this paint up to this point had been sitting for 24 hours. And as I put that coat on, it all bubbled up throughout the entire thing. Now this was the first bubble, and what I decided to do at this point was get some paper towels and see how much of this will wipe off, if at all. And now I'm into the how am I going to fix this mode. And you can see it literally took 2 coats of primer off all the way back to the resin. And at this point, this is all this morning. Today is Tuesday. I don't know what the date is today. What's the date? It's the 25th of July. And this was between 9 and 10 this morning that I was working on this. Over several hours, I'm having just problems and nothing's working correctly. So at this point, I'm kind of getting frustrated. It's not really wiping off all that well. And I'm getting a lot of paint debris all over everything. Now, one of the things that I did was I wiped all this down. I used a scrub brush to try and get this a little bit better than just using a paper towel and rubbing on it, which here in a second I give up on the paper towel and go find, right here. This is what I was like, this isn't working, so I found a scrub brush and just started scrubbing the heck out of this thing. This kind of worked a little bit. The problem that I end up having is that not all of the paint on the top of this thing bubbled up. As you can clearly see, I have a big patch through the center. Both thrusters, kind of a little bit happened there, not much. And then I had the same problem on the lower part of the hull. But what I ended up doing was, on the lower part, really painting a lot of it and then scrubbing it all off. And then when I finally put a coat of paint on it, it kind of took. It looks crappy. So at this point, what I have to try to figure out how to do is to either turpentine, mineral spirits. I literally have to take this back to, I have to figure out how to get all this paint off of here. And my point of continuing to paint here was to see how much of this is going to bubble up and how much of this I'm going to have to peel off again. Because honestly, at this point, I was just like, the easiest way to do this is to just paint it and get it to bubble and wipe it off. And it's easy to see how much of this really just went terribly bad. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. So basically at this point, I'm just letting this stuff sit. According to the can, this stuff dries in like 5 minutes, which it actually does. Pretty good at drying real fast. One of the things I ended up doing was letting this sit for an hour or two and then came back to it and trying some more stuff. And I didn't really video all of it. It just kind of kept just getting bad, worse and worse and worse. I was about to say badder and badder and badder. But at one point, I'm just like, you know what? I got to figure out what I can do as far as stripping all of this without ruining the resin print itself. I've never stripped a model before, so to be 100% honest, I really don't know what to do. So that's why I'm kind of putting this out there. If somebody knows, as far as a resin print, how you can strip paint off of it and what you can do to get that to take it back to the before priming, please let me know, because that's gonna have to be my next step, is to strip the entire model and start all over. I'm probably gonna have to airbrush all of it, which is gonna, the financial part of that is just I'm not looking forward to that at all. So, but if anybody knows how to do that and something that's not going to ruin a resin model, again, please let me know, so I can hopefully get this thing printed. The most upsetting part about this is that this is each day, you know, one day I did the black, the next day I did the white, and now today I did the silver. And so that's 3 days of work and waiting. It's just gone to crap. And I don't know what to do here. So somebody please help me. I could use the help. Beyond that, I don't know what to do. And this is me just trying to figure out what the heck's going on and what I'm going to do. Anyway, I'm going to put this out. I'm taking the rest of the day off because I am so frustrated right now that I'm almost to the point where it's frustration has taken over, honestly. And my biggest fear is that I'm going to have to reprint all of this, which I honestly, I do not want to do that. That's going to be horrible if I have to reprint this whole thing because the paint job got ruined. One of the things that I noticed after working on the base of the base of the hull, which this is the top of the hull that you can see right now. Once I do the base, I thought I wiped it down really well. I did a lot of wipe down and scrubbing and all kinds of stuff. And I thought it looked pretty good. But once I put another coat of paint on it, I was just like, oh, this looks horrible. It looks terrible. So it's going to bum me out really bad if I can't get all this stuff off of here and ruin the paint job, because I don't know that I'm skilled enough to be able to weather this and make it look redeemable. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But anyway, it's a good thing I gloved up at this point, because my hands were terrible. Those are the two kinds of paints that I was using. I was just like, don't ever use this paint, with this primer with that primer, because that's not going to work. And here I go again at the trying to do this peel job with the paint on the bottom of the hull. And my thought process was, if I do a light enough coat that it's not going to peel it up. But obviously that's not the case, because you can really see, even with an extremely light coat, it just peeled it. I mean, it's doing a number on that. I've never had this happen before, where paint just peels the primer right off of the thing. And the crazy thing that I was sitting here thinking, I was like, well, maybe I didn't prep this correctly as far as the model is concerned. But I mean, I washed the entire thing with IPA thoroughly. So there's no reason why, at least in my head, I've never had primer peel off of a model before. It's ridiculous. And yeah, that's me just staring at this like, what the fuck am I going to do? Anyway. I sprayed this thing I don't know how many times, and scrubbed it and wiped it and blah, 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 trying multiple attempts to get this stuff to just kind of dry, maybe cure, but it just doesn't matter. And as you can see here, I'm putting more and more on there. That's fuck this. Anyway, at this point, I'm done for the day, and that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.